Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with the new season review, season 8, Tyler Perry Sistas, episode 1. Y'all, we are back and we are in for a roller coaster of. Well, I told y'all the man wasn't dead, but I mean, he was dead, but now he's not. So who stabbed Gary? I don't know. But the name of this episode is Dead Man Walking. So yeah. All right, y'all. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe if you get anything out of my commentary. We are going to go in for this review. Now, this is not going to be verbatim. This is more going to be a recap because there were a lot of conversations with each person dang near on the cast. And yeah, a lot of the same redundant questions, but I'm just going to try to simplify this as I can. So it ain't going to be verbatim. Don't be like, they didn't say that, Okay, it's the gist of the conversations. All right, y'all know I like to ad-lib, make these episodes my own. If you new here, that is what I do. For everybody that's been here, y'all know what's up. And yeah, y'all, this is Sheila. Like, comment, and subscribe. The more you do like, the more I do go through the algorithm, the more people will start to view my commentary. Here we go. Sistas season 8, episode 1, Dead Man Walking. All right, so when the season starts, of course, they go through this whole a flashback of what has happened and what has led up to Andy screaming, seeing Gary stabbed in the chest, right? So they were showing, the baby, the Karen with the two, baby daddies, and Sabrina trying to get pregnant, and Andy, what is it, Andy? No, what's that girl name? Danny and Tony. Just a bunch of the back flat flashbacks to get to where we are today. So now we end up here at this wedding, and Jordan and Andy having their love spell. Andy goes in, sees Gary on the floor, and she does that fake smiling laugh. All right, bam. So fast forward, here we are in the interrogation room. So we're in the interrogation room, and FBI agent Watts, he is, asking Andy all the questions because right now he feels that Andy is suspect number one. Like he feels that Andy did it. He does. He pointing finger Andy. My thing was, we all knew that Andy was working with the FBI. I just never understood why she didn't tell him what was really going on. So she won't be nailed to the cross for this, for this happenings when it comes to Gary. They would have had a little bit more insight on the reason why she did what she did, because his main question was, we were working with you and Penelope, and you and Gary had broke up. What made you get back with him to marry him? Or whatever. And she was just like, pretty much it was something that she wanted to do. She never gave the exact reason why. And then in this scene too, she also learned that Gary was murdered, because at first they were just kind of going back and forth, can I leave? And then when she would get ready to leave, he'll tell her to sit back down and all of that stuff. So then you're going to be charged for murder and all this stuff, and she's just like, oh, so Gary is murdered? And they said, yeah, they had found out, because she originally thought that he was just stabbed and he was in ICU. But anyway, so then she starts to form her tears, and he's like, oh, so you're crying over a person that abused you, that hurt Penelope. He's just giving a long list of dirty laundry that Gary has done. And then you were going to marry him. And now, what I'm saying, you're crying that, he's dead. And then he starts to get kind of sick, saying stuff like, oh, y'all love infested. He putting his tongue down your. I'm like, what in the nasty? Why is he going into such a perversion type of conversation? Like, why are we doing this? Why are you bringing up sexual innuendos and acts to her? Like, I just thought that was so disrespectful, and it was so unethical for him to be. I guess they probably try to do everything and say anything to trigger the person into saying that they did something, because they're trying to really find a motive. And Andy was saying the same thing. Like, if you're going to sit up here and talk to me like this, then I don't even really have to be here. So then the scene pretty much switches from Andy and it goes to Hudson. And Hudson is saying that, Gary was my best friend, and the person that did this, it was Andy, or it was her goons, her girls that showed up to the wedding and all of this other stuff. Because, yeah, and that Andy's hands aren't clean and she is money hungry. Oh, yeah, there is a new detective too. He's just a cop. I didn't remember his name. I'll know it next time. But anyway, so he was basically trying to pin everything on Andy or either her friends. And then Hudson gonna bring up the fact that Karen got twins, by two different men. I'm like, y'all just bringing up y'all just telling everybody business. And what does Karen twins got have anything to do with her killing Gary? I'm like, make this make sense. And so the detective guy, he's just like, Andy is not money hungry. My dog is howling in his sleep, child. Anyway, so she said that Andy was like top divorce attorney at the firm, and she was making all this money. And then Hudson talking about she was just on salary. I'm like, okay, Hudson, all right. So whatever. So he was just pretty much pointing the finger at Andy. It's Andy or either it's them girls. It's them sister girls. Anyway. So then we get to Karen because, they brought up her having these twins by two different baby daddies. And it's like, Karen sitting up here telling this agent wise dude, like, look, I got somewhere to be. Oh, so you have somewhere to be better than here? She was like, yeah, I got my new salon. He was like, oh, yeah, what's your salon? Fresh start. So what type of, what are you trying to say or whatever? She was like, what was the word he said? What was it? It wasn't it was something to the effect of you aren't, what is it? It's something to the effect of she's trying to put a message in the name of her new salon. And she said that she's very intelligent and she knew what the word meant, which I don't even remember what the word was. Simulate. I don't know. I'm not gonna even try to guess. But anyway, and she was talking about how she educated and all this stuff. Don't let the southern twang fool you and all that. But then he gets to running down her and her baby daddies and, talking about her her baby daddy go with her best friend's paralegal, and now she bitter. I was like, so that means that means that she murdered Gary because of that. And she was like, what does that got to do with anything? And then she's talking about her business. And then he brings up that she had another business from Root to Riches. And she was like, okay. And then he brings up that she invested in that. And then her other baby daddy, Aaron, invested in Rooster Riches. And also Miss Marie Willis invested in Rooster Riches. And Miss Marie Willis may have had motive because Gary ended up making her lose a lot of money. And Karen is looking like, why does this have anything to do with me? And then she said, because, all of y'all got together and went over there to make a plan to unalive Gary. She like, I wouldn't do. I'm like, this girl is big and pregnant, child. Anyway, but Karen over there, like, ain't none of my girls got no reason to go over there and do that. The only reason why we went down there to the wedding is for moral support. We was being moral and supportive, which you are not being moral or supportive right now. Okay, so that was pretty much that. And so now they have Rich and Tony. Tony comes down to Rich's shop, juice bar, and he has a new juice out. But the main gist of this conversation is they were talking about the girls, and they brought up Sabrina, and she has been, being interrogated. Danny is being interrogated, and Rich puts all the blame on Andy. It's all Andy's fault because if Jordan would have never been messing with Andy and then Jordan get it back to Gary, then our boy wouldn't be in this situation. He just calling her out of her name, and all that stuff. So he says he can't talk like this in front of Sabrina because you know how she is about her friends. But me and you, Tony, we friends, so I can talk like this about that girl, to you. But Rich, I can't wait till you really understand the reason why she did what you did, and then you're gonna be eating crow, making a crow acai bowl. What is it? Acai bowl? Yeah, you're gonna be making a crow bowl. Yeah, anyway. So now you have Sabrina, and Sabrina looking around like, I do not want to be here. I already have been to jail. I don't like enclosed spaces. Like, this is bringing back too many memories. You know what I'm saying? And then she just like, look, I pretty much told you everything. We don't have nothing to do with this. And then he's like, yeah, but you all, because he brings up Andy being your friend. Oh, my girls are more like my sisters. But no, I wouldn't kill for them. Then he brings up her case when she got into that whole situation with the robbery. She was like, look, I didn't do nothing. I was set free. I was born again. My name is clear. I don't have nothing to do with none of that. That's why I got my job back, my name back, my assistant back, and I got a promotion because I didn't do nothing. Really? I didn't do nothing. So can I go? So that was pretty much that conversation with Sabrina. And you can look at Sabrina. She looked like Sabrina didn't do nothing. She looked pretty though. All right. So now we get to Danny. Danny is over there just having a key. So, I guess Detective Watts thought that he was gonna get some good stuff out of Danny, but Danny, for soon as she sat down, she vapes. He was like, this is a non-smoking place, and she was like, oh, okay, well, do you want some, and he just like, so I guess you're gonna give me the same, I guess you're gonna tell me the same thing that your other friends been saying. And she was like, what they been saying? Because she said she pretty much happy that whatever happened to him happened to him happened. And he was like, what? She was like, yeah, she said, I already told them I wanted to go down there because she was trying to wreck a wedding. And she was honest, and she was just like, I told them I wanted to burn the whole place down. And when I went over there to get when I wanted to go over there and get some gas light and fluid to burn the wedding down, he was already dead. And she was happy. She said she wanted to meet the person that did it. And he was just looking like he didn't know what to do. He was just like, well, you're very honest. Yeah, she very honest. She didn't do it, but at the same time, she not mad that it happened to him. And that was pretty much it. I was like, thank you, Danny. Thank you for being a breath of fresh air when it came to this. And also Danny looked very, very pretty. I thought she looked very pretty. All right, so now you got Zach, and Zach just keeps saying, I want my attorney. I was like, Zach, just answer the questions and don't get so upset, because Zach was being triggered. You know what I'm saying? He brought up Zach's past. He was saying if Heather found out that he was on trial for murder, then he could possibly lose his mute son, Michael. I said, you ain't got to bring up the bait, but really? Really, Detective Baldhead, you gonna do that? You gonna bring up now? You started it, Detective Baldhead, when you started slanging insults, calling this man mute, this man's son's mute. Now I can sit up here and talk about you too, because that is an innocent child. It is not his fault that he grew up in the conditions that he did. Don't do that, Detective Baldhead. Anyway, so Zach, like, you bring my son in this. I was right, because he called Fatima out her name too, because she talking about she crazy and all that stuff she could have did. Leave my fiance out of this. I was like, Zach, you just need to stay calm. That's it. Just stay calm, because I don't have time for nobody to be bailing you out of jail because you don't know how to sit up here and talk to the police like they need to be talked to. And he was just like, look, you gonna either cooperate with us or it is what it is, pretty much. And Zach was just like, okay, whatever. And he kind of gave. Did he give in at the end? Because they just showed them kind of looking like face off. But Zach said he didn't kill it all. And Zach also found out that the man got murdered. He was like, I didn't know that he was murdered. I just thought he was stabbed. So he murdered for real. So yeah. All right, Zach. Now Fatima comes in, and Fatima, they be giving Fatima the rundown. They telling everybody business about that she'll do anything for her friend Andy, and how she'll be there for her man Zach, and how Zach lost the money to Gary. She's like, this ain't got nothing to do with money. I don't care nothing about no money and all that stuff. But the gist about this was, she didn't do it. She don't know. And then she did have a flashback because he was saying, because she was saying, what motive would I have to do whatever to Gary? And they had the flashback when, the man pushed her down on the ground, child. I said, get up, Fatima. Don't. Oh my God. She was rubbing her elbow. I was like, ooh, that hurt. But anyway, so yeah, but overall, she didn't do it. She ain't got time to be doing none of that stuff and whatever. So that was pretty much it. I thought everybody looked good in their scenes though. Them little one-on-ones, they was like really cute. They look like little confessionals. Even though they were interviews, they look like they were, how housewives be doing them confessionals? That's what they all look like. All right, so now you got Jordan over here. Child, yeah, oh yeah, I did want to say this too, because after Fatima got interviewed, Jordan, what's that girl name? Andy got interviewed again, and then come to find out, Andy had said he had told Andy that all of her friends were pretty much in the clear, and the only one that they haven't investigated was Jordan. So this is why Jordan is here. So Jordan, his whole thing is, have you heard from my sister? Now that Gary, what do you say? Now that Gary is out of the way, now that Gary is out of the way, is dead. Did he say dead? I guess he said dead. Is she able to come home now? He was like, hold on, wait. He was just like, well, we just wanted to ask you some questions. Like, how did you feel? I guess, because he brought up, that's Detective Baldhead. He ended up bringing up Andy and calling her out of her name and saying that it must have made him feel some type of way when she ended up going back with Gary and all this other stuff. And now he can't even fulfill his dreams of being the councilman and all that stuff. And he was pretty much defending Andy, defending his sister and all that stuff. And he was just like, he didn't do nothing. He didn't kill Gary and all that stuff. So yeah, same song and dance. All right, so now Andy is back and they are going back and forth. Let me see what's next. Okay, so now she back, they going back and forth, and then really it was just the same thing pretty much over and over again. He keep pushing buttons and talking crazy to her, trying to make her say something that she didn't, and she just like, I know what Andy's whole thing is. I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to pin this case on me, but you have no evidence. You have no evidence. And my friends didn't do it. You have no evidence against them. So why are we here? You're saying that I'm able to leave on my own, but you keep telling me to sit down and sit down. So I'm trying to work with you, but you're really not trying to work with me. So that's how pretty much this is. And y'all need to really find who did this. And y'all sitting over here picking at me. So that was pretty much that. All right. Now you have Hayden packing the bag. He like, I gotta go. He's sitting over here looking at the news, talking about just looking. He gotta get his passport. And as he's about to head out the door, there's Tamaria. Because he was like, good riddance to both of them. I hope both of them get what they get. So when he had said that originally, I thought he did something to Gary and I thought he did something to Tamaria. But she came to the door like, where you going with your backpack and your passport? And he was surprised to see her there. So I wonder what they got going on. Okay, hey Tamaria. All right, so now you can see that the group is starting to go home. They show Sabrina coming to the house and Rich is already there. And they just pretty much hug. And Sabrina gets a little emotional because she was just like, I've already been through this. It just brought back memories, pretty much past trauma. And she's really shaken up by it because she's been through this once. She doesn't want to go through it again, but now she has to go through it again because, Gary is unalive/alive. And Rich said, I'm going to be here with you. I'm going to be here with you every step of the way. I'm going to be here with you. And he just reassures her over and over again. I thought that was cool that he did that. But girl, he just called your friend. He said it was your friend's fault, but it's okay. All right. And then now you have Danny. She at home. She's journaling now. She's writing down her thoughts. The first piece of paper that she wrote down saying, yeah, that Gary is dead, and she had the thought that she could have something. It was something to the effect of she had the thought that she could do it, but then she ended up balling up the paper saying, no, I'm not about to incriminate myself just in case they want to do some more investigation on me and find out that I wrote that I thought that I could do it. But yeah, so she tore it up and she writing in her book, and she was just talking about looking at her friends going through stuff from the outside looking in, lets her know that she really does have to really evaluate her life and get her life together. And while she's writing in her journal, then Tony comes in, and you can tell that Danny is really disturbed by what happened. And the first thing her out is to want to, jump up and down on Tony. You know how I say it. But Tony is like, no, we don't need to do that. Let's just talk. Let's just talk. And she was like, what, you don't want none of this? He was like, yeah, I want some of that, but now I want to just talk to you. Let's just talk. So that's pretty much what they're going to do. They're just going to talk. What she need to. All right. So now you have, what's this girl name? Karen. She going through her books for today, talking about somebody wants some micro braids when they got some, they scalp is, their hair is real shallow. Any beauticians out there, do y'all be feeling some type of way when girls come in there wanting micro braids and stuff and they really ain't got that much hair? Like, do y'all do it, or do y'all recommend they do another style? Like, what do y'all do? Just let me know, because I was just looking at this and I was like, so Karen, are you going to do her hair even though she may not have that much? Okay. But anyway, so while she looking through the books, what's that girl name? Pam comes through and bring her some little goodies and all this stuff. And she was like, yeah, Pam, Pam tells Karen, yeah, Karen, since now I'm a part of the, I'm part of the friend circle, I just came to check on you, see how you was doing. And then Karen was like, you know what? I do need a hug. So they hugged and it was cool. I thought it was Aaron at first, but no. All right. So now you have Zach and Fatima. And Zach over here worried, walking back and forth, pacing the floor. Like, yeah, we up in here getting interrogated and all this stuff. And they're going to probably end up coming back. And so while he's sitting over there pacing back and forth, talking about they question me and if I unalive Gary, and Fatima over there rolling her eyes like, and Zach like, what you looking like that for? She was like, well, did you? What you mean you questioning me? Did you? No, I didn't. Why would I do it? Well, when I told you what he did to me, you was real mad. And then when we were together, Fatima said, I don't know where you went between that break when you went your way and I went mine. And she was like, that don't mean I unalive the dude. I ain't got time for all that. And then she was like, okay, well, good. And then he was like, well, did you? And then Fatima was like, what you mean? Did me? And he was like, well, shoot, you asked me. So I'm asking you, Fatima, did you? And she was like, no. Well, shoot, you and Andy so close. She was like, yeah, we close. I look at her like a sister, but I got a family, a life to live, and all that. And mind you, Zach did say I put that on my unborn kids and Michael. Now we don't know, Fatima. We know you pregnant on Sistas. We know you pregnant on Zatima. So we still gotta review Zatima. Yeah, I'll be reviewing that show, so go check me out over there. All right, but yeah, he said, and he's swearing on all that stuff. But Fatima's like, you ain't gotta do all that. But back to Fatima. She said, no, I didn't do it. This, that, and that. I ain't about to risk everything I got over some money, and not because of Andy. And which, duh, I wouldn't either. She said, I use knives for torture, not to kill. I want to torture you just a little bit. Maybe cut off a pinky toe a little bit. A little slice on the ear. I don't know how you torture people, but yeah. So since they said, okay, so now we in agreement, we need to get our story straight, because the people gonna be still doing the investigation and we need to be on the same page. And then Fatima says this. She says, well, you know what we can do? We can do our own investigation and find out who killed Gary on our own. I was like, all right, Nancy Drew, what you finna be an investigator, Inspector Gadget, Pink Panther? All right. Yeah. She said, so they gonna find out who did it on their own. So they was just like, okay, well, that's a good idea. All right, so now you got Hudson running. Oh, is he okay? Is he okay? I heard he was dead. Well, no. Wait, Hudson. See, you thought, which he did flatline for a minute. And he said also the detectives came and they probably using it to get a confession. But the Negro just ain't dead. He is a fighter. So I told y'all Gary ain't dead. Gary is not going nowhere. He is using this to his advantage. But you know what? I originally thought that Gary planned all this. So somebody must have really did stab him. I don't know who it was. We're gonna find out. The only thing I could probably think of maybe is Penelope. Because they didn't interview her. Penelope, where you at? I know it's a way that you can sneak out and do stuff. But anyway, yeah. So they didn't interview Hayden either, but Hayden said he got to go. Y'all think Hayden or Penelope did it? Which one y'all think did it? Hayden or Penelope? Let me know. Cause both of them seem real fishy. To me, they got the most motive. I don't know. But Gary ain't dead. He's still in there breathing up and down, in and out. Yeah. So now this is when the rubber is almost meeting the road, because the conversation shifts between this FBI agent Watts and Andy, because they get off into this Me Too movement conversation. Because Agent Watts' whole thing is, it's women like you that be with an abuser. He cheats on you, he beats you, he puts you through all this, these traumatic experiences, and then you leave the good man, that good man, Savannah, which was Jordan, and then you get back with your abuser, and then you want to holler me too. And then Andy comes back and says, well, it's the men like you. Don't sit up here and act like you one of the good ones, when the whole time you can see a woman going through abuse. You can see a woman being tormented and trauma and emotional abuse and all this stuff. But you just sit back and watch, and you pretty much don't do nothing. So what? That's why we got to do a Me Too, because you just standing over and not doing nothing. And I want y'all to watch this movie Blink Twice. Have y'all seen Blink Twice? Y'all, watch Blink Twice. When I tell y'all that movie is so good, shout out to Zoe Kravitz. Spot on. But anyway, yeah. And he over there clapping. And so he was like, well, I still don't understand. And then it kind of made me feel like they had some sexual tension, because the way he was talking to her, like he was acting like he kind of liked her a little bit. And I was like, what is going on here? Because Andy is like, you sit up here and you degraded me and you talk bad to me and you put me every chance you get. And then you want to sit up here and act like you a good guy. Like you are not that guy. And so he pushes back and just like, so what is it? What is the reason? Why did you end up getting back with Gary and all this other stuff? So she stands up and she was about to tell the reason. I was like, no, Andy, do not tell the reason, because they're going to think that they're going to find your motive. Don't say nothing. And when she was about to get ready to say, child, dun, 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 Robin looking like a superhero, ain't he? Look at that neck. Yeah, Robin came in and said, no, don't say another word. And he's like, who are you? I am acting on behalf of my client. I am Attorney Barnes' attorney. Don't get it twisted. I said, why I start clapping? why did I start clapping when I seen Robin come in? Why did I start? I was like, Robin, where you come from? I was looking for you. I did a whole video about Robin, like Robin and coming back. Robin, I've been looking for you. Where you been? You just got on the plane and left. And now you coming back in, swooping in to save the day, looking like a Mighty Mouse. Woo! Anyway, y'all, this is Sheila Bila. This episode was really good. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all think. Are y'all happy that Robin is back? Who do you think? Child, did y'all really think that Gary was dead? That's another question, because I didn't. And also, who do you think stabbed him? Because it ain't no murder case no more. So who do you think stabbed him? I think probably Gary or Penelope. Because most people, to me, that use knives, it mainly be like a woman. I think about a woman that'll use a knife. I think Hayden just trying to get out the way because he just don't want to do with nobody no more. But I think it may be Penelope. But yeah, y'all, this is Sheila Bila. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all think about the video. Bye.